Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to my channel. I'm feeling a bit better today. Thank you so much for the overwhelming and beautiful words of encouragement and strength and energy that you've been giving me. So that does really make me feel better. And today I was planning on doing a video that's very much on the geek side. So I'm sorry for everybody who's not interested in it, can just like stop here. And for the others, since I'm so much awake at night and getting into Twin Peaks again, you know, going through the Blu-ray, which I always show, here it is. And now that it's official that Twin Peaks is coming back in 2016, I have a couple of remarks to make. I have went back to watch the Between Two Worlds special that was filmed extra for this Blu-ray disc edition with Grace Zabriskie, Ray Wise, and Shirley Fenn and David Lynch together. So the four of them sat together in a room and the three actors acted out the three main characters from Twin Peaks, and then there was a shift into them being themselves. So the first time I saw this was back in July or beginning of August, when there was still no talk or no confirmation whatsoever that Twin Peaks would be coming back to television. Now that it's been confirmed that David Lynch and Mark Frost and CBS and Showtime have confirmed that Twin Peaks is indeed coming back in 2016, I thought to myself, you know, David Lynch and Mark Frost, they both post on Twitter at 11:30 in the morning at the same exact time that The Gum We Like is coming back in style. So, of course, the geekiest of geeks of Twin Peaks all noticed immediately that Dale Cooper, as he entered Twin Peaks, it was 11:30 in the morning, the first time he entered Twin Peaks, and he kind of notes that on his little speaker thing where he talks to Diane, his assistant, or we don't know who she is exactly, but, and then I thought to myself, okay, of course, David, you know, everything he does has a double meaning, has something to do with, you know, making you think and figure out the puzzles and the mysteries. So I thought to myself, I've heard in another interview somewhere that Mark Frost said, I don't know, I can't remember to who, that it's been 3 years in the making, the idea of rebooting, not rebooting, but just going back to the world of Twin Peaks and getting back to film 25 years or 27 years later from the last events in the Black Lodge. And I thought to myself, okay, so if they've been planning that out all this time, since the past 3 years, and they've been very, very cleverly saying no to all the questions asked about, are you going to, you know, do Twin Peaks again? Are you going to go back to Twin Peaks? They were very, very hesitant to say anything except no, 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 no. So I thought, okay, now that it's official, I'm absolutely sure that David put some hints or clues in the Between Two Worlds segment of the Blu-ray special features of the entire mystery of Twin Peaks. So I went back to re-see it yesterday night and really listened to it this time. And I don't know if it's the geek in me that kind of saw things but that weren't really supposed to be there at all. But here's my analysis of the thing. So tell me guys what you think. Grace Zabriskie says in Between Two Worlds, I wrote this down in my magic booklet, as herself now, not as Sarah Palmer. So talking as herself, she said that there was a scene where she's kind of falls on the carpet in the living room, and the crew says, not the crew, but the technicians or whoever was filming her said, okay, stop, pause there, we have to rearrange something. So she stood there and she's complaining about the fact that her hands had been stepped on while she was waiting there. And of course, David was in shock kind of and said, you know, oh, that's bad, that shouldn't have happened. And then he says, so next time we will place cones around you. What next time? First hint. Of course, it could have just been a nice thing but you know, he had that kind of smirk in his face when he said it. And then there's another thing. I still think... Yes. So Grace Zabriskie says, about Twin Peaks Fire Walk With Me, the movie, I still think the true day of that film has not come yet. So she looks kind of lightly down, not any more upward in the direction of the camera or other actors. Like she wants, you know, like she means something else. And Lynch then interrupts her with, And then he asks, you know, that's all he did. He's like, you know, I mean, whatever. Anyway, so, and then he asks about what are their hopes and dreams. And then Cheryl Lee goes, in my life, health, and for her son and family to be healthy and to be in spirit and in body, in soul and body. Grace is just like, I'm just happy to be here now. And Ray Wise, I would so love along the way. I would love, what do you say? I would also like to work one more time with David somewhere along the line. And here I think Ray Wise, as a professional actor as he is, kept his, you know, position of not kind of altering too much his facial expressions for the camera. But David couldn't help it. And he looked back at him, smirking like they both knew something that we don't know. And just look at that little tidbit when you go back to watch Between Two Worlds, as Ray Wise says, along the way, I would like to work with David. I would love to work with David one more time. And then so David looks back at him smiling, like they knew something, and then with a smirk in his face. And that smirk, if David has that smirk, he doesn't have it often, but when he does, there's something happening inside his head. He looked like a kid, you know, like a kid, like who's like, yeah, I know something you don't know. I can't wait to tell you, but I can't tell you yet. And yes, then he looks at Ray, and then Ray looks at Grace and Cheryl and says, and Ray says to Cheryl and to Grace that, and to work with you somewhere along the line, and then the circle would be complete. Exact words. David then says, beautiful. You are the very best, and I would love to work with each and every one of you again, for sure. And then in that moment, notice the music, because they're playing a background music from Twin Peaks as he's saying all of this. And as he says, with each and every one of you again, for sure, the music gets darker. Suspense is growing, and then it goes down, down, down. And in that moment, it picks it up into the beautiful opening theme that we know from Angelo Badalamenti from Twin Peaks. This kind of tone of music getting a bit, you know, lower and darker as he says, I want to work with each and every one of you, is just like a red lamp. And every time it happens in Twin Peaks, you know, like you have to pay extra attention because some scene is going to change or some action is going to take place that's going to be very important to the further development of the story. Now this is as far as this goes, except Lynch also says, life brings us so many beautiful surprises, implying perhaps that we're going to get new Twin Peaks things. You never know, you never know. Well, now you do, but how much are we going to get? Is it really just going to be 9 episodes? I hope it's going to be more. And then Grace Zabriskie says something, and I believe this is going to be implemented in the actual show because she works with wood and makes furniture. So she says in this little Between Two Worlds segment, and says to David, you know, I made a table out of wood called Sarah and the White Horse. Maybe Sarah Palmer will have, you know, in the new series, furniture or bits of wood that Grace actually made in real life. That would be a great idea. And Sarah and the White Horse as a piece of furniture, kind of as her frustrations or building up or building down or just trying to work out the loss of her husband and the loss of her daughter through this way. Maybe this wooden table then, you know, gets the power and the energy of Twin Peaks. And who knows, maybe Josie will come back to us through that table. You never know. I mean, this is just stupid geeks positions of mine, but speculations are always interesting and fun to keep the time going because we got to make this time pass, guys, because 2016 is not exactly around the corner. So what else did I notice? Let me see. What did I write down? I also was thinking 25 years that, you know, Laura Palmer says will pass before she sees you again, meaning Dale Cooper. To match the 25 years that Laura mentions in the Black Lodge in the last episode of Twin Peaks, season 2, Oh, right. I was thinking, I wrote this down. Twin Peaks Season 3 will begin with a flashback from 2016 to 2014 or 2013 and will show an incident that will bring Laura back to or with Dale Cooper again. Then we will be brought back into our present time, meaning 2016 or 15, depending on when they shoot exactly and how they want to make it real time to our time or not. This flashback incident should be of importance to what will happen in Series 3. It will also be important for the resolution of many open ends that have been left unsolved or unresolved when the series ended in the beginning of the 90s. This is just a speculation of mine again, probably isn't going to happen, but I'm thinking if they really want to stick to the 25 years, maybe they should begin with a weird flashback 2 years before the actual series plays, and then go from there and make something wacky happen or crazy happen or very important happen in the Black Lodge. Let me see, what else? So the furniture, we did that. When the three actors, Ray Wise, Grace Zabriskie, Cheryl Lee Fenn, are in character as Leland, Sarah, and Laura, they interact with David. David asks them questions, and it's kept very tight. Not much is said, but as far as Laura goes, she says a lot of mysteries are open. There's a lot people still don't know. And she says she meets many people with no names. I'm sure this is some sort of reference to what's going to come. So I'm keeping that like very as an alert sign in my mind. Sarah says she lives in the same house. She's single. She has seen doctors. She doesn't show her true pain to other people. Like when she is at the grocery shop. She says she loves sports. Was it baseball, football? I don't know, strange, cryptic things. The only really important thing that I felt was like important to memorize was when she says that one is what she shows, and then there's this around the corner thing, and that around the corner thing is, I think, where David is going to go when he revisits Sarah Palmer in the new Twin Peaks series. Who knows what sort of things she built up and discovered and felt and came to live or relive in her mind, and all of the powers that she had with her mind in these 25 to 27 years. And that power might have grown to such an extent to, give her certain abilities extra that she didn't have. Back then she already had many, but maybe she's not learning to control them more. She's alone and she's not being manipulated. She's not being given drugs by her husband secretly. And I believe that this means that we're going to see a lot more of Sarah Palmer in 2016. This is just a couple of things that I wanted to run through as I'm like kind of spending my sleepless nights recovering and thinking about all the possibilities and options of Twin Peaks and how blind I was not to pay more attention to the Between Two Worlds segment from the Blu-ray, The Entire Mystery, and The Missing Pieces Twin Peaks. So thank you so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you like what you see. I am always dressed in my Twin Peaks Red Room Adidas jacket, giving me the energy to figure out more things that could happen in 2016. Subscribe if you like what you see, and leave me comments in the comment section below if you have any questions or if you have your own opinions on what might happen in 2016. And thank you so much for watching, everybody. Have a great day, night, morning, evening. Bye-bye.